Some hidden files have been found in the latest update of Smash Bros. That heavily suggest Roy is in the works for DLC. This is causing quite a bit of controversy as a lot of people aren't too happy with getting another clone. As I've stated before, clones don't steal roster spots, so if Roy does get in, he'll get in because he's easy to make and popular. And while I predict he'll be very similar to Mart, I am hoping he will be more different than Lucina is. Project M has given us a very good version of Roy that is different to Mart in subtle but important ways. These differences will only be exemplified when we compare Roy to Mart's SSB4 version, which like Mario has changed somewhat throughout the installments. The most noteworthy things I'd like to see them use from Project M are some of his new attacks, particularly his forward tilt stab and a modified double edge dance. However, one change I'd love to see that another hacker has done is his down aerial. I don't know if the original hacker intended it, but it seems like this is a direct reference to an attack in Fire Emblem Gaiden where another character defeats the final boss with a sword that seals things away, just like Roy. In terms of Roy's specials, he is of course going to get Flare Blade as his neutral special, though I would still rather they rename it Killing Edge since it's based off of a critical hit. He would retain the over the shoulder version of the attack, making it more distinct from Mart's Shield Breaker, which has become like a thrust. I would also improve his hitboxes on the attack's full charge. The charge time for this attack is ridiculous to the point you barely even hit with it fully charged. When you do, it deals damage to Roy as well. Given that, I'd actually like to be able to hit with the attack when I do fully charge it, even if it's a weaker outer radius and a sweet spot that delivers the one hit KO. I'd give him a new side special called Flame Tongue in order to give some projectile game, since in his own game he could attack from a distance. Roy would swing his sword shooting a wave of fire forwards. It would probably be most similar to Bowser's Fire Shot custom. He would retain Blazer as his default recovery, though I think some minor changes can be made to make him more similar to Dolphin Slash. His down special would also still be counter. However, Mart has kind of stolen his killing counter from Melee, so in order to make it more unique as an attack, I would have Roy's counter involve summoning a fireball where the enemy is standing. This would deal minor stun damage, setting the enemy up for an attack, probably Roy's amazing forward smash. Another distinct feature is that due to its nature, it can effectively damage an enemy by countering a projectile. If Roy gets hit by a stage hazard or an attack that has no distinct owner, you merely summon a small fireball somewhere in front of him. Now, despite the fact that Mewtwo didn't get any customs, I'm still going to theorise on Roy's custom because this is mainly what I want to see more than what I expect to see. For his second neutral special, I would give him Explosive Strike. This would work very similar to Palutena's Explosive Flame, except a little less powerful, and just before the fireball is summoned, Roy will swing his sword dealing a set knockback on anyone it hits, so that they will be pushed directly into the flame. I would move Double Edge Dance to his side special with similar changes to the Project M version, like I said earlier. The second up special will be Flaming Tornado, a recovery most similar to Charizard's Fly except with a slight vacuum effect, pulling people in at the expense of more startup lag. His down special will either be an attack using the sword Durandal or swapping to use that sword entirely, if swapping to use it is a feasible option, in order to give Roy slower but stronger attacks, perfect for finishing off his foes. However, like in Fire Emblem, and like Robin's weapons, it will eventually break but get repaired over time. For his third neutral special, I would give him Rune Sword. This will be a weak attack, but should it connect, it will recover some of Roy's health. His final side special will be Flame Pillar. It will work a lot like Robin's Arc Fire, except without as much range. His final recovery will be called Rising Heat. This will also be like Robin's recovery, except instead of 2 attacks, it will be 1 large attack. He will send a powerful fire wave downwards that deals a lot more damage and knockback than Elwind. The attack will be launched from his sword, which he will swing similar to his old down aerial. Should the sword portion of the attack connect, it will deal a powerful spike. Finally, his last down special will be called Patience, based on a skill from Awakening and Roy's general personality. Roy will take a stance similar to his counter stance, which will give him a stat boost. However, unlike Wii Fit Trainer's Deep Breathing and Shulk's Monado arts, the effect will be very minor at first but will grow over time, provided Roy does not get hit. The final boss of Roy's game is not a villain and is instead a victim acting without free will. If you defeat this enemy as Roy using his signature weapon, you will spare her instead of killing her, a feature of this weapon and something his predecessor also did. I would reflect this plot point in Roy's final smash, which will be called Mercy Strike. It will be a quick activation attack with good range that will deal at least 300% worth of damage. However, it will deal only minor set knockback, effectively making it impossible to defeat your opponent using it. Though, of course, setting it up so you can easily kill them with your next attack. I think as a final smash it will be pretty interesting and unique, though I know if Roy does get into the game they'll likely just give him Mark's critical hit. That's my opinion of Roy should he come back into Super Smash Bros. Tell me if you think Roy should get back into the game and what kind of moveset you would give him if he could.